Hey everybody, this is episode 2 of the Ability Warriors birthday episodes, and I kind of want to talk about overcoming challenges and kind of starting off where I left off in my last episode. In my last episode, if you weren't around for that, you should go give that a listen. It's pretty much about taking the bull by the horns and living the life that you imagined when you were little, and just keeping your mind imaginative, keeping it young, keeping it not so adult sometimes, just going with your heart instead of your head always. Like, yes, there's times when you have to, but there's definitely times when you don't. So that's a little recap on what I said in the last episode. So if you want to go check that out, it was the one that I posted this morning. And let's hop right into this episode. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about overcoming challenges and overcoming obstacles that might get in your way, and kind of how I've dealt with them, and how I'm continuing to grow, and I'm not perfect. I am not a model human being at all. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I had a meltdown because a person that is near and dear to my heart is making life decisions that are great. Like, they are amazing. Like, he's wanted them forever, and I fully support him, and I fully am keeping my fingers crossed that he achieves those dreams. And him and I have been talking about it since we were young. Like, what he wants to do, what he wants to build, the person that he wants to become. But I always end up, like, and this is not just with him, I always end up feeling neglected, feeling left behind, feeling some type of way for no reason whatsoever. And it's just, I don't know, it's kind of crazy when you think about it, how your brain works, and how something so insignificant to some people can be so catastrophic to others. Like, I think that started for me, the abandonment and the neglect started when I was when I was 12 and my dad left. That's when it all started. That's when I started noticing, oh, people leave and they don't come back. People don't stick to their word. People aren't reliable, and that's carried over into my personal life, that's carried over into my love life, that's carried over into everything that I've taken on since I moved out, which was 22. And I've kind of noticed that since then, I don't really trust people too much. I kind of have my walls up more than I should. I prevent myself from being happy. I prevent anything from being a happy source of light in my life. Like, I get happy for people. I'm ecstatic. But always in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, well, they're gonna end up leaving, so why get close? They're gonna end up being here, but not actually being here. I'm gonna talk to them over the phone. I'm going to see their face, but I'm not actually gonna be able to see them, like with my family and with friends of mine. That's how it's been, and it's not just COVID. It's everything, and even if my life were to go down a different path, I don't think my friends would be in the same life stages that I am. I'm always 10 steps behind everyone. I'm always trying to play catch up with everyone. And it's not okay to put that pressure on yourself. It's not okay to put yourself down in that way. Like, I'm being honest. I have been putting myself down for the last, hour. Because I'm not I feel like there's no end in sight for people coming in and out of my life. I know it's the course that my life has to take. Like, nobody stays your whole entire life. Nobody is fully capable of being there 24/7 and still chasing their dreams. Like, I can't expect it to be that way. You can't expect it to be that way. They have to follow what they need to do, and you have to trust them, and you have to know that they're always going to be there, even if it's not in person. You have to just keep in contact and realize that they're the person that has your heart, and they'll do anything to keep it. So you just have to trust in them and realize that your brain is not exactly the compass that you should be following. The compass that you should be following is your heart. The compass that you need to follow is one that's gonna break every once in a while. Following your heart is the biggest risk. Following your heart is the biggest letdown sometimes, but it's also the biggest reward. And sometimes people don't like the choices that you make, but I'm here to tell you, I have made some doozies of choices, but I don't want to say this is the place that I want to be forever, because it's not, honestly. This is not the place where I want to be until I'm 80. I want to explore the world. I want to explore my options, but right now I'm looking at everybody around me, and they're moving on. They're having big life events, and it's like, hey MJ over there, you're just doing the same old, except for this podcast, which I love. I love you guys. And that is my purpose. I think helping people is definitely my purpose, and helping people is definitely what I aspire to do. But I think there's gotta be a couple more leaves on those branches, if you know what I mean. There's gotta be more than just this. And I know that sounds very philosophical and very hokey pokey, but that's what I think. And all this stuff just to say that you are not the boundaries that you set out for yourself. You are not the trauma that you've had. You are not the heartbreak that you have. You are not the circumstances that you've been dealt. You can change those. You can grow from them. And as Big Sister Ability Warrior, I'm here to tell you that I'm still a work in progress, and I'm still trying to figure that out for myself. If you think about it, I've only been at this for a grand total of 7 years, doing it on my own without a guardian. I've had people in my life, but it's not like guardianship where you're taken care of mentally, physically, emotionally. You're just flown out of the nest, and you have to learn. And it took me a hell of a long time to do that, and I am so proud of where I came from. But I always look in that rear view mirror, and I'm always like, well, I'm always comparing myself and being like, well, I should be here, but I'm not. But then I see somebody running up beside me and being like, oh, well, I am on the next trail. I'm ahead of you. And that can ruin your psyche. That can destroy you if you let it. And today, I'm here to tell you that I let it. I let it destroy me. I let all the doubts, all the negativity, all the stuff in my personal life get to me when I really shouldn't have. And I have some tips to make it so you don't make the same mistakes that I have. Maybe I'll take my own advice. Like, maybe journal about it. Or maybe talk to a friend that's impartial about it. Or, like, write out what you want your life to be. Like I said in the last podcast, I think. Like, you're going on to a new year. It's like New Year's Eve, but your birthday. So, it's kind of like a start over button. So I would just push that and see where you can get. And reinvent yourself if you want to. Like, go and join a new hobby virtually, obviously, right now. And once everything opens up, then you can be in person. But what I'm here to say as a big sister is just, like, try new things. Like, yeah, people are ahead of you, maybe in age, in their life choices, in their life experiences, but you're building a life of your own, and you shouldn't compare that to anybody. You shouldn't compare. I'm going to rephrase that. I shouldn't be comparing myself to everyone, because that is what I'm doing, and it's just getting me in this rut. I'm digging myself into a deep, dark hole, and I just need to lift myself back up and know that you guys are surrounding me, and know that even if you guys have different paths than me, you're still shaping who you need to be. You're shaping who you want to be. So I should realize that and be more appreciative of the fact that I have a roof over my head. Be more cognizant of the fact that the people that I love are not doing what they're doing out of spite. They're doing it because they've needed to for a long time, and they need to carry on. They need to explore other options. That doesn't mean that they're gonna say goodbye to you. It doesn't mean that they're not gonna be a part of your life. It just means that they're gonna figure out a way to live their life better for them, so that they're better for you, or better as a whole in the grand scheme of things. Like, it's not always a bad thing. Change is not always a bad thing. Change is an inevitability. Change may not be my favorite thing, but it's definitely a big, scary thought to me. And I know most of this was rambly, and most of this was kind of a rant, but I just want you to know that people aren't always out to get you. People are just living their lives day to day, and feel free to join in with all the vigor and all the happiness that you have, and I need to start practicing what I preach, because I'm just realizing now that this is good advice, and I really need to take my own advice into account right now. And I thank you guys for that, because this is like therapy for me right now. And I'm just talking to a recorder. I'm not even talking to a human. But so thank you. And just write down in the comments what you're trying to do to better your life, whether it be financially, professionally, personally, whatever the case may be. And maybe give some tips and tricks to those that aren't there yet, to those that are more vulnerable, like myself. So I am really happy that I did this, and I want you to leave your comments so that it can help other people. And I think I'm gonna wrap that up and do my lovely outro. So my friend Minnie Mancino, she does this awesome podcast, vlog type show, where she dives deep into the gaming world, and she also does mini casts where she talks like this to you guys while she's doing Minecraft simulations, and she's just a really cool gal. And if you like her, if you like me, you'll definitely like her, for sure. You will definitely learn a lot from both of us. So I am sending you over there freely, and you can go check her out. She posts Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and she is amazing. And yeah, definitely go check her out. Alright, so I'm done venting, and I'm going to sign off. And I will definitely chat with you guys soon. Definitely tomorrow, because I said I would do that. Again, my schedule is 7 days a week before my birthday. So I'm going to be doing a lot of talking both now and then, so you get to hear my lovely voice every day, and then it'll go back to regularly scheduled programming. And yeah, I just want to do this as kind of a reflection period and a look back on what I was thinking and how crazy I am during this time. I'm gonna be 29, which is crazy to know that you're going into almost a new decade. Like, you have some big choices to make, that's for sure. Or I do, at least. So I'm gonna sign off here, but I wish you guys all the best, and I will chat with you tomorrow. Okay, your Ability Warriors leader is now signing off.